So, Destiny, the other night, had a far leftist appear on his stream to debate him. And this person was interesting, to say the least.
Who's the rioters and looters?
They started off talking about Anna Kasparian and how she appeared on the Sitch and Adam show.
Yeah, I mean, I think what she said about Kyle Rittenhouse is pretty stupid. I think what she said.
What do you think she said about like
Jesse Stingal is pretty stupid.
Sure,
I don't know. She's just saying a lot of stupid shit, in my opinion.
Sure, for the Rittenhouse stuff, what do you think she said that was stupid?
Rittenhouse serves as a litmus test to see how crazy the left-winger you're dealing with is.
Like, I think discussing whether or not Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines, I think that doesn't matter. That's not really related.
That's a different tune to the one you were singing when this story first broke.
Everyone could see what was happening in Kenosha. It was getting crazier by the hour. So
Again, maintaining order by crossing state lines where both states say that owning that weapon and having it open carry is illegal.
That's not true for the state of Wisconsin. But funnier still is that infamous line, crossing state lines.
When across state lines.
Cross state lines.
Cross state lines and
Cross state lines.
Cross state lines. Cross state lines. Cross state lines.
By crossing state lines.
Talk about being brainwashed and bereft of any critical thinking. They kept pushing that phrase as if it meant anything, even though it was completely irrelevant. And it was regurgitated by all these mindless liberals, exposing themselves for lacking any ability to think for themselves.
Just tell us what to do. You don't have to think about it, dude.
You both fell for that idiotic narrative. The only difference between you and Anna Kasparian is that she reflected and learned something from it.
Legally, everything you did was fine, but I don't really care about the legal argument. I'm more...
How convenient. You don't care about the legal argument because you already lost that one.
The reason why the crossing state lines was brought up so much was because people initially were given the impression that he drove really far away. It wasn't necessarily,
like he lived like they were basically on the state line. He's just on the, like, it's a magical line in the sand, you know, like it's like a 30-minute drive,
Sure,
you know, if you're going to your mom's house.
Yeah, that was one.
I wonder if anyone else was tricked into that narrative.
By crossing state lines.
The way that these stories get represented or misrepresented are just so far away from the reality of it that what happens is, and I think this has happened to a lot of people, and it's just one person in a long chain of people it's happening to, is that when you actually sit down and you look at the facts of a case, or you look at the fact of the matter, you find out that progressives have been basically lying completely about it the entire time. And then that...
Well, I don't know about progressives, but I think the right's been lying about it. I think everybody lies about everything, just to be clear. That's what I think.
The whataboutism is hilarious. The left wing was pushing this fake narrative, which you, Anna Kasparian, and seemingly every progressive bought into. But what about the right wing? Everybody lies.
Let's say somebody's walking up to your business with a match and a can of kerosene or whatever, and they're like, I'm going to burn your business down. You can leave. I'm not going to hurt you. You guys can leave out the back, but I will burn your store down. Is a person compelled to watch their business burn, or do they have a right to say, like, well, no, if you do this, I am going to shoot and kill you?
I think killing someone to defend a business is morally wrong.
Generally speaking, a human life is more important than a business, of course. But if it's clear that you're going to kill them if they try to destroy their property, the choice is in their hands. Both the property and their lives can be preserved if they just don't do anything.
Arsonist is saying, hey bro, get out of here, I'm about to burn your stuff down, and they're giving you that opportunity. I don't think killing them, in my opinion, I don't think killing them is acceptable.
They're trying to destroy your livelihood, your property. But if they do it nicely, it's okay. Does this extend to your house? With all its memories, personal items like family photos and treasures that are irreplaceable. If someone asks nicely to burn it down, are you not allowed to defend yourself?
I think we can at least understand why people would be like, well, I don't think I want to just sit there and have some guy come and...
Yeah, well, you know, we could also ask, like, why do people want to burn my business down?
How is that relevant? This is like a live case study of what Jonathan Haidt talks about in The Righteous Mind, a book I heavily recommend. She has emotionally come to the conclusion that it's never okay to kill someone to defend your property. Now she's desperately scrambling for reasons to justify her emotional conclusion.
Reporting around the Jacob Blake shooting, which was another instance of left-leaning media propagating falsehoods and lies, but...
I disagree with that. Now, we can talk about the lies of Jacob Blake's reporting, but I don't think that that matters. I think that the only thing that mattered in that instance to cause the protest was a black person was shot by the cops. Any other aspect to the reporting was irrelevant to the outcome, because during that summer, people were already angry and they were looking for a reason to do something. And so whatever specific minutia of the reporting, I think is irrelevant to that.
Surely, when emotions are high and people are looking for an excuse to riot and cause trouble, that's when you need to make sure you get your facts correct. The lies told by the left-wing media that led to riots don't matter. This is insanity. How can there be zero introspection here? You bought in to the state lines narrative, and now you have the gall to criticize Anna for having some reflection. Not only did you buy into those lies, you don't think it's relevant if journalists lie when reporting these hot topic issues.
Okay, I mean, like, the reason why people are protesting aren't because black people are being shot by cops. They feel like it's because black people are being shot by cops for no reason, without justification. That's the issue.
I think a cop shooting anybody is pretty much without justification.
Again, an emotional conclusion that wouldn't stand up to the slightest bit of scrutiny.
Do you think the cops were okay to shoot Jacob Blake?
No.
So when Jacob Blake, a convicted sex offender, was about to drive off with 2 or 3 children with a weapon in the car, you don't think the cops were in the right to try to stop him with lethal force? You think they should have let him drive off?
Wow. Don't shoot the sex offender. Let him drive off with the children. What an idiot.
They don't have a car, they can't chase him, they can't.
So you think it would have been better to do? Yeah, you think it would have been
better
better to do a high-speed chase with 3 children in the back seat with Jacob Blake?
Does it have to be a high-speed chase?
Does it have to be a high-speed chase? Oh yeah, they could have just asked him to keep within the speed limit, as this sex offender was driving off with children. He's complied with the law so far, so why wouldn't he follow the speed limits? But it's irrelevant. If he's not complying and he's going to get into the car, why would you put the children's lives at risk? These lunatics hate police so much that they'll always side with the criminal.
Like,
are they going to
you think
drive
the
past
only
him?
option is to shoot someone with intent to kill? And
Well, that wasn't the only option. They tried to wrestle him to the ground. They tried to tase him. Neither of those 2 things worked. And then it got to the point where he was getting in the car to drive away with...
Yeah, that sounds like a skill issue on behalf of the cops. Like, oh, because you suck at doing your job, now that means you can shoot someone?
What an embarrassing argument. Again, just siding with the criminal no matter what. Neglecting the fact that these aren't super soldiers. They're operating in a high-stress situation. They tried to restrain him without lethal force. It didn't work. So what are they meant to do? Just let him escape with the children?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So would you be in favor of massively increasing funding to the police force so they can all be trained in like jiu-jitsu and all other types of martial arts if they can't bring down like a...
I mean, that's a good one. I gotta admit, that's a good one, but no.
Okay, so what is your solution then in that situation? Community policing? Because the woman, the mother, was outside crying.
My solution is to have a police force made up of competent people. Yeah.
Okay, so massive increase in
That
funding.
doesn't require more funding, though.
How does that not require more funding?
Because get rid of all the losers and bring in people that actually know what the they're doing and actually care to do it properly.
Wow. Some people say leftists don't have any solutions. But there you go. Just get rid of all the losers.
I think that people should have a moral, like, why should you be a cop for money? I think if you want to be somebody who protects people, to be a hero, you shouldn't be doing it for money.
That's starting to sound a lot like Kyle Rittenhouse. I honestly don't know how Destiny has this much patience to deal with these complete morons.